Hello, welcome to The Peaceful Home. If you're new here, I'm Teresa Elling. I'm a professional organizer, parenting coach, wife and homeschool mom of 6 graduated kids. This is part 2 of organizing paperwork in the new year. Now, if you missed part 1, I will link that below, but you don't have to watch that in order to get something out of this video. If you're interested in content, all things home and family, this is the place for you. I hope you'll hit that subscribe button and notification bell. I would love for you to be part of the Peaceful Home family. I'm going to do a really quick review of part 1. I spent an entire day organizing the paperwork in my entire home, and I came up with this list of where all the paperwork is. So I have paperwork in all of these spots throughout my home according to how they're used or how they need to be stored. And while it says long-term files, really some of these, like if you are an avid chef and you meal plan regularly, that might be something that's actually part of your active files. That's not something that you put away for someday. You're using those things almost on a daily basis. So all of this is subject to how you use things. The other area of paper storage for me that isn't really long-term are my binders. Those are used at least on a weekly basis, and they are in a very handy place in my office. Now the question is, once you get these systems in place, you know where all your paperwork is. You have a filing system set up for long-term storage. You have a place to put all of your memorabilia, things like that. What do you do with the daily influx of paper? My solution for that is an active file. Now this file will constantly be in use. There really shouldn't be much that stays here for very long. I have categorized mine into 5, mainly because I have a file bin here that has 5 categories, including the bottom. But you can customize with letter trays like these and stack as many or as few as you'd like. One thing that is important, you don't want to overcomplicate this system. If you have 20 horizontal letter files, all labeled, most likely you're really saving things that should be in a file box or file cabinet. So unless you're using those things on at least a weekly basis, they should be put away for long term. So this is what I use for daily and weekly use. I want to address one other consideration, and that is I have had a lot of clients that will have mounds of messy paperwork everywhere, especially in the kitchen. Kitchen counters, kitchen islands, dining room tables are really common for clutter, paperwork and other. And I do have a couple videos addressing those concerns. I will link those below. That is dealing with clutter on countertops. But this is specifically for paperwork. And a lot of times when I suggest getting some kind of organizing system, clients will say, oh, I don't want something like that in my kitchen, or I don't want something like that in my bedroom. It looks too messy. And I kind of bite my tongue and think, okay, but this huge mound of paperwork looks good. You know, the thing is, this is what keeps us organized. It might not be as beautiful as other aspects in our home, but it's functional and so important. The other common problem is thinking that the system's not working for us, and so we need to go buy new files, a new type of system, a new file cabinet, prettier file folders, something like that. And then certainly that will work for us. A lot of times it's not the system, it's us. It's our lack of consistency and discipline. And I am the queen of wanting to buy new systems rather than being self-disciplined. But that is really the bottom line. If I take the time every day to check my to-do bin, or if I have something in here that's written on my planner, I'm going to keep up on it. Nothing's going to get buried in here that I don't know about. If I take the time to go through my inbox at least once a week, again, I'm not going to have a problem. The problem is when we get a beautiful system in place and then we pile up things in our inbox and we never check it. And then we say, oh, the system's not working. But it will if you can discipline yourself to check on it at least once a week. That's all I'm asking for. My day is Friday, kind of end of the week, tidy up, go through the inbox, make sure everything's cleaned up. Now we have a 2-story home. So if you have a 2-story, you know what that's like. Inevitably, you have a pile at the top of the stairs waiting to go down and a pile at the bottom waiting to go up. And it's no different here. So as I tidy up downstairs, I just put things on the bottom step. When the mail comes in and we go through it, I put that on the bottom step. If there's anything else that needs to come up here, even a pair of socks, something like that, I put it on the bottom step. And then when I head up here, whether it's bedtime or sooner, I grab the pile and bring it up. So I'm going to show you an example of what that would be like in the evening. So I grab this pile. Right off is my planner, which always stays right next to my bed. So I'm just going to put that there. And then the rest of it, I have a choice. If I have a minute, I can do a quick sort and go ahead and put these things where they belong. If I am exhausted and I have no time, I'm just going to throw the whole pile in the inbox and I'm not going to worry about it, because even if there's an important bill in here, I'm going to see it by Friday. Before I empty this out, I want to show you the categories that I have. I have a to-do or bills or time-sensitive things, hold, financial and receipts, planner and habits, and to be filed. You want to be able to find anything that is time sensitive quickly. So whether it's a bill or an invitation you need to respond to, it goes in here. This should not get very full because it needs to be moving all the time, other than maybe a bill that could be in there for a few weeks. The hold bin is really helpful. Right now, the only thing I have in here is a coupon. But let's say that your son plays Little League and they've put out a schedule and maybe you've transferred things to your calendar. You're going to go ahead and put that schedule in your hold bin. Let's say you have a order you need to place out of a catalog. You could stick that in your hold bin. This is basically a someday file or hold until I no longer need this information. So this I don't worry about filling up. When it gets full, I will pull the whole thing out and sort through it, and usually most of it can go into the trash. Next is a spot to put my receipts, and I do that for receipts that definitely need to be saved for possible warranty information or if I might return an item. Now, most financial information also could just be put in the file bin to be filed. But if there was ever something I needed regarding finances, I really don't want to have to go through this. I just want one location where I know anything will be. And one thing that I always have in here this time of year is a file for current taxes. As forms begin to come in the month of January, W-2s and year-end statements, you want a place to put them so you know where they are. I use a planner. I have different types of cleaning schedules and habit trackers, and so I just like to have those easily accessible. So I had an extra shelf here, so that's where that goes, and I can get to those easily. Those could also go in my office. If I was building a file from scratch, I would probably keep those in my office, but I had the room here. Now the last one is to be filed. That is anything that needs to go somewhere here, especially the file cabinet. But if I have a recipe, if I have something for memorabilia, home repair receipt, any number of things that need to go to one of these places, they're going to go right here. And this is what makes this system awesome. Now, these two right here, the financial one and the planner habit, could be completely eliminated. You don't need those. But I highly suggest a time-sensitive shelf for bills and other things, a hold bin for the some days and the stuff that isn't crucial, and things to be filed. So that way, when you have a paper that you know is important, but it needs to get filed away and you're not going into your office, it's got one spot to go. So my file shelf right now only has 2 things in it, because Saturday when I organized all my paperwork, I grabbed this whole pile and it was full, and I sorted it on film for you to see. Right now, I've just got an article and a business card to put away. So let's get back to what's in my inbox. This would either be the quick sort in the evening or Friday or whatever day you choose to empty out your inbox. I have tax records here, so they are going to go in my current tax file, I'm going to slide them right in there. I'll have to do that later. I've got 2 bills here, so those go in the time-sensitive one. I have some receipts. If I have time to sort the receipts, if it's something I don't need, I need to just throw it away. But if it is something I need for a return or a tax receipt, I'm going to go ahead and put that in here to sort later. Paper shredder, which doesn't go here. And I'm not going to put it in my to be filed because I need to put it away. So Friday's the day. I would actually walk this over to my office immediately and put it where it belongs. But I'm just setting it on my nightstand for now. I've got a magazine, which my magazines go down here. And I have a book that doesn't belong up here. It's from a study that we did at church, and it somehow got in the pile when I tidied up, and it actually needs to go back to church. So I have 2 possibilities for my outbox. If my door's closed or I am just sorting right here, I put things right on top, and this is my pile to go out, or I set them on the ledge at the top of the stairs. And every time I go down, I just know to check this, grab whatever it is, put it in the appropriate box or basket downstairs. For example, my go to church box, my go into town box. If I'm running errands, I have everything in one basket. So that's where this is going to go. Now, obviously, that was just one day's worth of clutter that I sorted. But even if you did that every single day and just once a week emptied your inbox, it will make such a huge difference in you keeping up with your paperwork. So just to go over this chart again, you're starting with your inbox. Everything goes in here. You will not lose anything if you do that. And then you have your active files. Whether that's 3, 4, 5, 6, I probably wouldn't do many more than that. Where I have my planner habits, maybe you coach Little League. Maybe you have a whole bunch of stuff for that particular sport or activity, and you want an active file just for that. This is a great place to have that. But again, it should be something that you use regularly. If it's something that just needs to be referenced from time to time, I would put it in your file box or file cabinet. So this is it. This was a quick video. I would love to hear in the comments below if you have a system that works for you. I've shown you how this works for me, but you have to tweak it and make it your own. Do what is best for you and what works for your family. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment with those as well, and I'll try my best to answer those. Thank you so much for joining me on The Peaceful Home. I hope you are able to tackle your paper clutter and get it organized and get a weekly and daily system in place so that you can keep up and you don't have to try to catch up.